In westerly direction, this car is my train. I've been driving, I've been wandering. Want to do something from again? You gotta love him. Feel like an 80-year-old man, holding on to 29. And up ahead on that horizon is a California line. Up ahead a truck's carrying a wide load, prefab house cut in half. Cute little front door and two windows, my lord. Ain't sure whether the crowd should laugh. See, I broke a home up myself once. As I stumbled to that door, I read her note by the dawn's light. Said, don't you come round here anymore. Well, I've had enough. All this freedom on the road never was a good decision. At least that's what I've been told. Yeah, welcome. Happy Sunday night, everybody. Champy is the best, isn't he? Champy, they love you. They love you. They tolerate me. They love you. Dry my face from the wrinkled sheets, just hoping it was all a dream. Pain in my head and a hole in my heart. Do I have a dog? Says it was more than just Jim Beam. No, I have a lead singer. That was the moment I knew. Dr. Bod, happy Monday morning from London. What are you doing up this early? Oh, Champy. It's not simple to say. Most days, no, I don't recognize me, that these shoes and this apron, that place and its patrons. Thank you very much, Cavruno. Yeah, we had our anniversary date night. Went to the movies. We saw Poor Things. It's not simple to say that recognize me, that these shoes and this apron, that place and its patrons have taken more than I gave them. It's not easy to know about anything like I used to be. Although it's true, I could never. I still remember that girl. She's imperfect, but she tries. She is good, but she lies. She is hard on herself. She is broken and won't ask for help. She is messy, but she's kind. She's lonely most of the time. She's all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. All right, we lost Champy. I think it's time for me to stop singing. All right, good people. Happy Sunday night. Let's get this show on the road. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. My name's Kyle Shannon. You know what we do here?
You can make money with ChatGPT.
Nah, we don't do that. Some people are doing that. We talk about AI. We talk about ChatGPT. Talk about my strained relationship with Sam Altman. We talk about dogs. Occasionally felines, but not very often. Got a lovely image here from Emilio's wife, who apparently is on time. She's at least here tonight. I didn't know if she was on time. So I'm going to leave it up to you to let me know if she was on time, indeed. You know, sometimes she sneaks in, you know? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? On time. See? But that's her saying that. I do not have third-party verification that Emilio's wife is on time. We need to get some blockchain technology going in here. We need immutable data. All right, fantastic. Oh, I had my Kevin Mcallister moment on Saturday. Oh, do tell, Dr. Bob. What was it? Please do tell. So if you don't know, the Kevin Mcallister moment, if you are new to AI and ChatGPT and all this nonsense, and you're like, why are people talking about this so much? What's the big stupid deal? It just looks like the Google box. It is my hope for you in your life, shortly, like very soon, that you will play with ChatGPT or something like it enough that you have a Kevin Mcallister moment. Remember Home Alone? That moment? So apparently Dr. Bod had one on Saturday, so I can't wait to hear what that was. My buddy only points out the flaws. There's a lot of people pointing out the flaws right now. It's amazing watching the people react to Sora. That they're either pointing out the flaws or they're basically like, you people are fucking evil. It's ruining the world. I'm leaving society. I actually responded to a guy that basically said that. And I said, can you point to something specific that is as bad as you say? And he said, yeah, I've used it, and it's all evil, and it's unethical, and it's going to fuck everything up. And I said, it just also might unfuck some things up. But, you know, you be you. So that was interesting. I know you shouldn't engage with that sort of activity, but I did. Sometimes I get a little spicy. Well, you've seen that in here. The cynicism. I found a way of sorting out an exceptionally time-consuming issue at work. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what. When you have one of those things, either when you want to have a tough conversation with someone, or you've got something that's particularly complicated, and then you realize, oh, let me go see if ChatGPT can do that, or whatever your tool you're using. And then not only does it do it, but it does it like that, and it does it really well. You're like, oh shit, I guess I can go on a walk now? Whoa, that lady that you said monetized her GPTs, I couldn't find her in the app. Oh, who was that lady? Reach out to Anne Murphy on the in the AI Salon and ask her to connect you to, I think it's Alyssa's mom. So Alyssa's the one that said she made the money with affiliate links, and it's Alyssa's mom. I forget Alyssa's mom's name, and I think it's Alyssa, but Anne Murphy will know. So I don't know if you're in here, Anne Murphy, but if you are in here, Jason is looking for some connection. Any recommendation on marketing a GPT? I have some ideas on that actually. Yeah. So So for those of you that don't know what a GPT is, there's this thing called ChatGPT, which uses a model called GPT-4, and then to confuse us all even more, they created these things called GPTs, which are customized, personalized versions of ChatGPT that you can share. You can train them on your own data. You can think of it like a pre-written prompt with a bunch of extra shit in it that you can share. And they can do really cool things. And there's a couple of issues with them. One of the issues with them is OpenAI promised us a GPT store, which they have technically delivered, but them defining it as a store is being very generous to the word store. It's being very generous to the letter S. It is not a store. It is barely a directory. Kyle, the box analogy. No box analogies this early. We'll do that later. So one of the problems with the store is it's not a really good directory. It's not super discoverable. The other problem with the store, the other problem with GPTs is they require people to have ChatGPT Plus, the $20 a month subscription. And then they essentially require people to use ChatGPT enough to know what to do with a GPT. So there's all your problems. Well, no, that's not all of your problems. There's some of your problems. You have a limited audience that requires some specialized expertise to be able to take advantage of it. And you have these remarkable things that if they do take advantage of it, it can do really cool stuff, right? So that's a good thing. And it might be marketing your business, right? There might be a call to action built into your GPT that says, hey, if you like this and want more, hire me or come to my store or whatever it might be. So an idea that I had, I'm working on a project with Content Evolution right now where we're making professional profiles for members of this organization. And one of the things that we're talking about doing is recording videos of ourselves using our own professional profiles to sort of, first of all, explain what it is. So here I am logging into my CE professional profile of Kyle Shannon, and let's see how it does. And I'll sort of explain what it does, what it was trained on. I'll put in some sample questions. I'll look at the answers. I'll go, ooh, that really sounds like me. That's kind of how I would answer that. Or that doesn't really sound like me at all. These GPTs are janky, but you should still try it anyway, right? Something like that. I think those videos serve multiple purposes. You can market with them, right? Put it on LinkedIn, make a little TikTok of it, put it on Reels, put it wherever, doesn't matter. YouTube Shorts. They serve as a couple of things. They're marketing your GPT, but what they're also doing is teaching people what ChatGPT is and how powerful it is and what your GPT is. And it might inspire them to sign up for ChatGPT Plus so they can actually use your thing. So that's one. And then like just with marketing everything, like you just got to talk about it a lot. You got to be shameless and plug it and make articles about it and talk about how you made it. Jay Sillo, I'm an EMT and made an EMT study buddy GPT. Yeah, perfect. That's awesome. And again, what would be interesting is, make a video of you as an EMT going into your study buddy and say, here's why I made this. Here's the sort of pre-written questions in it to get you started. Here's the kinds of things you can do in it. Here's the kind of results it gives you. And then share that with the world, right? Because the GPTs themselves, they don't have a lot of context. They kind of assume you know what to do. And you can program them cleverly to help a little bit with that, but I think there's something about putting them out in the world that I think could be a good thing. The other thing, I had a really good experience today with Gemini Advanced, which I'm paying for. I'm still apoplectic about the fact that as a paying business subscriber with a Google Workplace account or whatever the fuck it's called, I can't use Gemini Advanced. That burns my biscuits. But anyway, I used it today. And I used it for what I thought would be a competitive advantage for it, and it was really good. So I'm gonna kind of do a version of what I did today for myself. I'll do some hypothetical thing, but I'll show you what I did with it because it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I'm trying to think if it was as good as ChatGPT 4. I would say it was in the neighborhood. And it was also in the neighborhood of how frustrating it was. Because, what's going on? My printer's all screwed up. Printer error occurred. Oh, whatever. Sorry, I saw this blinking out of the side of my eye. Couldn't. ADD. Squirrel! I know it's frustrating, but it's very amusing from a storyline standpoint. It is a good story that the paid customers can't use the best tools of Google. It's pretty staggering. Gemini perfect spelling, first try, show and tell. Okay, cool. Nice. Where's my mouse? Oh. My mouse is doing weirdness. I think I have a new version of OS X that's got some... Oh, that looks very cool. It looks like a truck hit the A, but it's still pretty slick. And then every time I switch cameras the first time, it kills my little dude, my little double camera. Here, let me turn down my brightness so you can actually see the detail in there. That's pretty slick. Looks pretty good. Although the A's look like they got in a fist fight. Look at that. All the A's are like, yeah, A, YMCA, shit, dang it. First try spelling on Gemini. Yeah, so if you don't know, Gemini can do pitches. Font fun. Both the A's look the same, though. They do at least look... All three of the A's look the same. So they're consistent. They're just... It looks like the Art Deco jewelry designer was taking a little laudanum when he was designing the A. Very industrial. The A is consistent. It is. It's a style. It's definitely a style. It's the opium overdose style of the 1920s. All right. So, well, since I'm here, let's see. Where do we want to start? What do we want to do? What is going on? Little mousy. All right, I think it needs charging. Do you think it's worth to pay the Zapier monthly? If you're going to use it, yes. It's not worth any of these things to pay for them if you're not going to use them. I mean, so here's the deal with Zapier. Because you get some amount of zaps for free, or you get some amount of whatever for free. If you're coming up against your rate limit, where you're using it more than the free thing lets you use, and or if there are features you want to use that only exist in the paid plans, then it's worth it. It also depends what you want to do. Like, I was hot and heavy with automations for a while, and then I've kind of cooled off on it. Not because I don't like automations or want them. It's like I've done the sort of big automations in my business. Like, I didn't have a ton of automations that were particularly slowing down my business. The ones that were, I built automations for, and they're fixed. And so I'm just using the automations we built. So I'm not doing it on a day-to-day basis. If you want to start a business around it and do it for other people, then yeah, I would think that would be good. Only to connect your GPTs. Probably not, because I think you can probably learn how to connect your GPTs without that. And then if you get something where you really want to do something fun with it, I would say do it opportunistically. Like, if you start hitting against limits, then do it, but otherwise not. I'm wondering if things are going to get easier in the next year. That's a really interesting question, Lori. I mean, you had it acted really weird. It depends what you're it depends. When you say things are going to get easier, I don't know what things you're referring to. If you're referring to things like API integrations, I think API integrations are going to get much easier. And that's what they're going to be. What they're going to be called is agents. So we're going to see agents, I would think, starting in the next, I would think by April, we'll start to see agents. And then they're going to be confusing for a while because we're not going to know how to use them. And then there's going to be a whole rash of shit where people are like, don't give agents access to any of your systems. You're going to get hacked. The robots are going to kill you. Don't do it. And then we'll use them and it'll be fine. So I'm guessing by June, July, we'll probably start to see some useful stuff. Does ChatGPT remember us yet? Like, does it have that memory feature? Not yet. I don't think. Let me go look at my ChatGPT and see if it's in there. Let me just reload just in case it didn't reload just now. All right, that's loaded. I'm going to go into settings. Beta features, no. Data controls, no. Nope, it's not in mine. But, we know that. Sam doesn't like me. And scene. All right, let me show you something kind of cool here. What's it called? Gemini. Gemini.google.com. All right, so here I am at Gemini.com. And it's just regular Gemini. And that's because every Google single sign-in I use is my professional paid-for account. So if I switch over to this personal account that I never fucking use, now I've got Gemini Advanced. Yay, you did it. Oh, actually, I want to try something here. So one of the things that they put in here, create a CSS color palette from an image, which sounds really cool, but when they first launched this, it didn't work. I want to see if it works now. If it doesn't work, I'm going to be blown away. All right, let me go find an image. And I'm actually going to show you something I like. Okay, actually, this is a good one. So here's a screenshot from my Storyvine back end. And it's got some really specific colors in it. And so I'm going to say, let's see, create a CSS color palette from this image. All right, fingers crossed that it does it. Come on, Gemini, you can do it. The colors are in there. You just need to look at them. I can't help you create a CSS color palette because it contains people. Are you fucking kidding me? All right, let's go find another image. Oh, this shit is so painful. I probably can't do that because it contains fantastical imagery. I wonder if I can do it with a plane. Okay. Create a CSS color palette. Color palette. I can never spell the word palette. Palette. From this. How dare this thing respect privacy in at least one regard? I know. Well, but it's Google. Has Google ever respected our privacy in any regard? Sky blue, dark gray. Let's see. Can it? Let's see. Can you make swatches of those colors? It should be able to do this. Absolutely. Here's the thing. How to use it. Let me see. Can you render that here? Unfortunately, no. That sucks. So what colors did it say? It said sky blue. There's maybe a sky blue in there. Light gray, there's a light gray. Dark gray, maybe. Orange, yes. Teal, I think. It seems better than it did before. When I did this before, it was like there's sky blue for the sky and vibrant green for the grass, and there was no grass in the image. So it was just making it up. So it looks like it might be a little bit better now. But let me show you what I did here. So I've got, maybe take it to Canva. Yeah, I know. Exactly. So I've got to do some positioning of Storyvine. I've got to be able to talk about the company to a new audience. I've got to be able to incorporate a lot of the AI stuff, the AI products that I've built in. I've got to be able to build them into the conversation. More than you think. What more than I think? What more than I think? I see all those colors in the image. Yeah, I do too. I think they were there. Create a Gemini bear again. Let's see if that's. I don't know what the prompt is for the Gemini bear. But we'll do it just because Pate's here and it'll make him cranky. But I'm actually about to show some stuff it did pretty cool. So let's see. Create a mythical bear with magical wings standing by a pool of water underneath A waterfall. I'm just going to let it go at that. Let's see how it does. Oh, regarding the privacy respect. Yeah, I guess so. It's just that you might protect our privacy so you can use it, but it's like, you've got when the product is free, the users are the product, right? And that's Google's business model. So it's inherent in the business model is we're going to, monetize the shit out of your data. And it's not so much that, oh, those are bad. That kind of missed on the bear. Show cool stuff. Okay, let me show you cool stuff. All right. So anyway, so I've got to reframe how I talk about my company that I've been talking about for 11 years, 11 and a half, almost 12 years. And like, I've gotten really good at, if I want to just pitch someone what we do, I've gotten really good at that, right? And it's tight and it's a good story. But if I want to kind of reframe the whole thing and talk about it as a whole and talk about it to different audiences, I haven't done that exercise in years. So I thought, well, Gemini, in theory, or I've seen it do it, is connected to YouTube, and in theory, it should be really good at knowing what's on YouTube. the bear elephant, exactly. So what I started with was this. I went. Find me a TED Talk on YouTube that discusses how to talk about your business. Give me an overview of the 3 most interesting you find. I'll just leave it at that. So I said, go find me some YouTube videos. And so it's searching YouTube. Here, let me see if I can make this a little bigger. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Me with the knowing how to make the font bigger. You know why I know how to make the font bigger on computers? 'Cause I'm old, okay? I can't see your stupid little type. All of you friggin' programmers that program in 2 pixel height, I don't like you. Okay, here are 3 TED Talks on how to talk about your business. 6 tips on being a successful entrepreneur. The power of purpose in business, and how to start your own business without investors. Let's say, what about talks about pitching my business to investors or buyers? Right? So the fact that I can just go ask it to look through YouTube. I'm sorry, but I'm unable to access this YouTube account. What? Which YouTube account? Wait, this worked through. Dang it. Wait, let me try again. Try again. All right, searching YouTube. Here are some TED Talks. Okay. Startup investors, how to pitch like a pro. How to pitch to an investor, the 4-letter code for selling anything. How to start a pitch or presentation. How to give the perfect pitch. I like the 4-letter code one. Okay, so, and look, there's some links to all those things. So I can go watch those, which is pretty slick. Now, what I'm hoping this thing will do in the future, I don't think it does it now. I want to be able to search on a topic and have it jump me straight to that section of the video where the person's talking about that topic. Like, you want to get all the ADHDers, let them jump to specific points in videos, and people will pay to use this. This is a differentiator, and Google has all the data, right? So they know how to do this. Okay, so anyway, so there's those. So I'm going to say, I'm intrigued by the 4.1. Can you summarize it for me? I'm sorry, but I'm able to access this YouTube account. Good Lord. And by the way, this shit where it just doesn't randomly do shit that it just did is not exclusive to Gemini. Like, ChatGPT does this all the fucking time. It's maddening. Lori, your video about how ChatGPT was just like, you give it this really specific thing that's like, oh, how about I answer something completely non-related? Does that work for you? No, it doesn't. Let me see. Try again. The content isn't a valid YouTube link. So wait, let me go scroll back. This is making me crazy, people. This is making me just crazy. The 4-letter code to pitch anything.
You guys are so good at Amazon FBA, how come you don't just do it all yourselves? Yeah, so that's how we started. We did do it all of ourselves, but at this scale, with the amount of money that we spend monthly and the minimum order quantities that we have to spend monthly, it's quite impossible.
All right. Please summarize this video. I'm going to put the title in there. Let me start over. You know, people, how do you do a new thing? Is this it? Plus? Yes. Okay. Find a TED Talk on YouTube that discusses pitching your business. Try it again. I made a GPT that refuses to answer anything citing policy and insensitiveness. Perfect, Joker. Go to ChatGPT, please. Yeah, exactly. Nice try. Here's some TED Talks. Okay. 1 minute pitch winner. Why VC's an angel. The single best. Why startups succeed. The secret to successfully pitching an idea. Okay. Let's take the first one. Can you give me the overview and a framework for what they are talking about? Should go to YouTube. Yes. And it should not give me a stupid fucking error. Okay. Okay, the speaker who invests in companies early in their journey says secret to successfully pitching an idea is to tell a story that makes people feel like they feel they'll be missing out. think about who you're pitching to, what they would care about, the story in 3 acts, the hero's world, describe the current situation, the problem your product solves, the tension and conflict, the resolution. Okay, so he's taking hero's journey. Face your biggest weaknesses directly, live in the future. Okay, I don't actually like this at all, but it's okay. It's at least a clear framework, right? Okay, so then here's what I did. I said, okay, great. Go look at storyvine.com and and help me populate an outline that follows this framework based on the content of the site. And so this should fire on off over to Storyvine, which it did before. Sure. Here's an outline. Okay, it completely didn't do it. Oh, fuck it. Okay, listen. For all of you that are like, I thought this was supposed to be exciting and good. Listen, all these tools are janky as shit right now. This is living up to the promise. Let's see. Websites. Use strong visual. Okay, wait. So it's show how Storyvine. Okay. I want you to go read the content from storyvine.com and fill in the framework based on the TED Talk. This what I wouldn't have if I had this experience this afternoon. I would not have done this because this afternoon it just did this all without all these errors. Okay. Think about who you're pitching and what they care about. Marketers and content creators. Pain points. Creating high-quality videos is time-consuming, expensive, and requires editing skills. Goals. Produce engaging video content that reaches their target audience and achieves their marketing objectives. Motivations. Increase brand awareness, blah, blah, blah. Small business. So it defined audience categories and their pain points. Great. Tell the story in 3 acts. The hero's world. The world is full of stories waiting to be told, but many people don't have the time, resources, or skills to create high-quality videos. True! Traditional video editing software is complex and time-consuming. True! Existing video creation platforms are limited in their features and functionalities. True! Well, what's limited is you have to be a fucking mathematician to be good at video editing and video storytelling, right? Like, it's very time-consuming. Tension and conflict. Business marketers are struggling to keep up with the demand. Marketers are failing to reach their target audience. Social media influencers are losing followers. I don't agree with that last point, but whatever, that's fine. Storyvine is a revolutionary, Act 3, the resolution, a video creation tool that makes it easy for anyone to create professional-looking videos in minutes. True. With Storyvine, you can choose from a wide variety of templates and storyboards. Not quite. It didn't quite get that, but it's close. Upload your own clips. That's not true. Or use Storyvine's stock footage library. Wrong. It just made that shit up. So there's a hallucination. Add text, music, and effects to your videos. True, but not like they're basically assuming Storyvine works a way that it doesn't work. So I don't know how deep it dug on the site. Publish your videos directly to social. Not true. Download them for later use. Storyvine's affordable, easy to use, perfect for business of all sizes. Not true. So it got it okay. So it sort of populated it. And it did better this afternoon. It was a different kind of framework. It wasn't so like marketing-y. The framework wasn't. But what was cool was I found a framework I liked. I pointed it to the website. I had it populate the framework. And then I just started saying, now we added this kind of product to it. How would you incorporate that product into the story? And it did that. And then I'd say, okay, how would you layer in this concept? How would you layer in that concept? So I did like 10 different cycles. And and it was pretty decent. So I've got something I can work with there. So I thought I'd share that because I think the idea of being connected to YouTube is good. Now, I assume actually we can find out. Let's go try regular Gemini and see if it can search ye old YouTube. I assume it can. Please find a TED Talk on YouTube that talks about the why of a business. I'm assuming this will find Simon Sinek. Yep. How great leaders inspire action. Invalid URL. URL removed. URL removed. Huh. Can you find any videos on YouTube? Absolutely. Unfortunately, the request is a bit broad. But I just gave you the context, you dum-dum. Can you find any TED Talks on YouTube about the business why? So now it included the URLs. I don't know. This shit's weird, man. This just doesn't feel like it's ready for prime time. It's just too inconsistent. Anyway, all right. Let me jump back in here. So that inconsistency shit is weird. Wait, it being hit and miss also suggests it's the processing pieces having issues, not the model. Yeah, exactly, Pate. And you know what's weird is ChatGPT's been doing that a lot too lately, where like I've noticed it in one of my GPTs where I tell it to like answer a question and then make an image. It'll answer the question and then it displays the prompt that it's sending itself, right? It displays the JSON for the prompt to make the image with the prompt in it, but it's also like call DALL-E, right? And here's the prompt, and it displays that, and then it makes the image. So these tools right now, I don't know what's going on, but it must be that there just ain't enough GPUs fired up. The other thing that I've noticed a lot is because companies like Google and OpenAI, less so with Meta, but these companies that have live large language models, large commercial large language models that we're all playing with, they're updating them in real time, like all the time. So I would imagine what that looks like is they take down banks of servers, update all the software on them, and then re-put them online. So as they're pulling stuff on and offline, it's probably breaking API calls all over the place, is my guess. So I don't know. Just know that we are in janky town for AI right now. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is, people. Just the way it is. I'll tell you what. Hey, you know what I'd do? I'll tell you what I'd like to do right now. I'd like to tell you about a cute little community we got going of AI adventurers. You know, people that are into this stuff and willing to put up with the jankiness. Let me see if I can get my mouse working again. It's connected. Here's Danielle did this one earlier. Look at how cool that is. Where is my mouse? Come on. Come on, you little doggy. Look how pretty that is. That's pretty. That's darn right pretty. So if you're the person in your life, it's spelled wrong. No, it's not. Learning has two N's in it and no I. It's the AI Learning Lab. like we say, embrace the misspells now, because when this shit gets perfect, it's going to be boring. All right. What this channel is about people just showing up and like being curious. Like curious enough to go, why am I watching this channel? And then curious enough that they keep showing up here night after night after night. Because together we might stumble on something, or we might discover some kind of, new way of looking at something, new way of thinking about something that's like, that's a breakthrough. Because the people that are showing up here regularly have had some kind of epiphany around this generative AI stuff, right? They've had their Kevin Mcallister moment. You've all, for those of you that are irregulars, the ones that show up here all the time, have had that moment. And like once you have that moment, and certainly once you've had your 7th or 8th or 10th or 50th Kevin Mcallister moment, you can't go back from it. Right? And so you end up talking about it like you're a fucking crazy person. Hey, have you seen AI? AI is really amazing. Do you like AI? AI is so good. Have you played with ChatGPT? And the people in your life are like, could you shut the fuck up? And you're like,
You can make money with ChatGPT.
and people have had it. They don't want to hear about this. They're pissed off. They're angry. They're scared. They don't care. It is a very small percentage of people right now that know about this stuff. So, about a year and 3 months ago, I started. Oh, I have the wrong presentations up. I was doing some work today. I had board business. TikTok Live. There we go. I started this group called the AI Salon. And the AI Salon, if you go to the salon.ai, do you have a moment? Do you have a moment to spare to talk about AI? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You just walk up to someone on the street. Hey, excuse me. Yeah, could I get a minute of your time to talk about AI? we're like worse than the Krishnas at the airport, right? Can I give you a book? And it's a book on prompt engineering. Yeah, exactly. All right, so go there, and that is going to take you to a link tree that is this. And the first link on here is the AI Salon Community. There's some other stuff here worth checking out. Like I've got back videos of this channel there. These 2 links for the GPT for Good event were an event we did between Christmas and New Year's, where this community built 150 GPTs for nonprofits in 24 hours. It was crazy. And the videos for how to do it's there. And if you go to the event directory, there's instructions for how to make a GPT there. It was really fun. But anyway, and then the store down here. So the AI Salon Community that I'm about to talk to you about doesn't cost anything. This is not like a pitch like, oh, you should join my thing for $495. No, this is not that. This is a remarkable group of people who are choosing to be on this AI adventure together. So like, if you want to be in community with people that are trying to figure this shit out, that's what this is. And so if you go there, it's going to drop you in to this page. Welcome to the AI Salon. And notice that it's not a single adventurer heading off into the wilderness. I got that AI itch. Yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, can I get me a prompt? Can I get me some GPU cycles? Hey, you got access to Sora? Exactly. So this is your support group. Hi, my name is Kyle. I'm into AI. Hi, Kyle. But notice like we're setting out on this adventure as a group, right? And that's critical right now because it is fundamentally impossible to even keep up with the big news in AI, much less all of what's going on. Like the open source community is like a whole separate conversation. I don't even deal with it because there's too much going on there. I'm just dealing with kind of the commercial stuff and the stuff that's, it's sort of skimming the surface of what's possible. And so any individual on their own right now can't possibly have enough perspective to understand what's going on. But being in a community of supportive people that are up to this, you can start to do some things, and you can start to see the patterns and start to get AI literate in the face of the fact that it's impossible to be AI literate right now because there's just too much going on. So my big request is if this sounds interesting to you, come check it out. So check out who we are, why we're doing what we're doing, and how we're doing it. And then check out our values, okay? And the values are critical. This is who this group already is. So as this community grows, which it is, we're up to like almost 1,200 people at this point. And we've only had this web platform up for about 3 months. So this community is growing very quickly. As it grows, I don't want to lose what's remarkable about this community. I'm going to show you something in a second that something hit me tonight about this community that I think is different. So I want you to check out our values. Curiosity is one of them, right? We want people who are like curious and interested, not cynical and bitter and like, oh, these things are stupid. That Google thing didn't work. No. Curious. Why didn't it work? As Pate said, that seems more like a processor issue than a large language model issue. Like, be curious. Be like, try to figure out what's going on. Generosity. It's not enough just to learn something, but like share what you're learning, connect with other people. Ooh, how did you do that? You know how in some communities you're like, ooh, how did you do that? And it's like fucking crickets. And how frustrated you are. Like, all I want to do is learn. Could somebody give me a leg up? This community is kind of the opposite. It's like, oh, how did you do that? Well, I did this and I did that. Oh, that'd be cool. Well, what if you tried this? Oh, that's a good idea. Why don't I? But hey, do you want to? That's generosity. Like if you decide to join this community, introducing yourself is generosity. Like introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Use your real name. Tell us what you're up to. Tell us where you are in this AI journey. That's generosity. That's what this community is. It's remarkable. Exploration. This is an adventurous group, right? We're like, can we break it? Can we fix it? Can we blow it up? Can we do something cool? Can we do something cooler? What if you did something cooler? Collaboration. This is also a group that's like, there's a lot of sub-communities forming. What I think is really important, and I don't think it's just important that the salon is doing this. I think this is important moving forward. The future of work is going to be a lot less about the skills you have, because as AI tools get better, the skills get democratized. So every person is going to be able to do multiple skills at a fairly or very high level that right now they might not be able to do. And so in a world where all people can do all skills to some degree, you'll no longer work with people because of the skills they have. You'll work with people because of who they are and how much you trust them. Who they are and how much you trust them, right? I'll work with Source Camp in here, not because she can do this, that, or the other, but because she's nice and I know she works hard and she's really conscientious. How do I know that? I've interacted with her. So collaborating in a community like that, like this, is not just important for like, oh, let's put on a show, I want to do something cool. I think it's an important skill moving forward. Inclusion is another one. Everyone is coming from somewhere. And no one has a clue about this generative AI stuff. So you're going to have everyone from plumbers to, Pate is a PhD mathematician. and everyone in between. People have been using AI for 3 minutes. People have been using AI for 3 decades. And what's amazing about being this early an in a movement or in a shift like this AI stuff's going to be is that all of those outside perspectives will give you ideas and solutions you never would have thought of, right? So inclusion's super critical. Empathy's another one. There is so much fear, so much anger, so much misunderstanding about what AI is, what it makes possible, what it is, what it's not, where the boundaries are. People are fucking freaked out. And so this is a community that you can come in and you can be freaked out. You can come in and you can be pissed off. I just lost my fucking job because of the stupid fucking AI stuff. And this community will be like, oh, that sucks. What can we do? Is there anything we can do? What are you into? What are your skills? What's this? What's that? Jay Sillo, today I helped my uncle troubleshoot his car using ChatGPT. That's awesome. I did that like 2 months ago. I had Pi. My car was just freaking out, and I didn't know what it was. And Pi walked me through it. It was amazing. And then some mechanic confirmed that my GPT doctor was right. But empathy is really important. Understand that someone might be scared, someone might be pissed off. Listen to them. Understand what they're afraid of. Maybe what they're afraid of is a complete misunderstanding of how the technology works, or a misconception. Maybe what they're afraid of is absolutely valid and they should be fucking terrified. And take that in. Share that with them. And then say, you want to see something cool? Like the crackheads we are. And then the last one is gratitude. I use Pi frequently. Yeah, Pi's pretty good. Gratitude. So my request to you, if this sounds compelling to you and if these values sound interesting to you, then come join us. And the first stop that I would like you to make, if you want to join, is introduce yourself. And it looks like, 2 minutes ago, Lacey Olson, thank you for joining. Thank you for introducing yourself and being generous. So jump in and introduce yourself. That would be my first request. And then go check out the water cooler and show and tell. And there's a tab here, a section called AI Tools and Resources. And this AI Salon, top tool recommendations, this is a list that I personally maintain. If you're trying to get your head around AI, this list should be your next 2 months. And I don't mean it like homework, like, oh God, I got to go learn all this stuff like calculus. I mean, this is all shit that if you play with it, like it's fun, like you're on a playground, and you're lucky to be able to play with tools like these, none of these will waste your time. The first one I start with is ChatGPT. It's still the best, and until further notice, it stays at the top of the list. If you do nothing else, in my opinion, and I'm not associated with them in any way. I can't even get Sam Altman to run a stupid prompt for me for his stupid video tool. Dumb. He's jealous of me. That's why. It's fine. I'm not bitter. You're bitter, Sam. You're bitter. Anyway, use his tool. And if you can afford the $20 a month, I think the $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus is the best deal in software. And I think if you want to get AI literate, it's actually irresponsible to not deeply understand what's possible with ChatGPT 4, the multimodal things it can do. It can see images, it can make images, it can talk, it can hear. It can't make videos yet, but as soon as Sora gets rolled in here, it's going to be able to. And if you don't think that these guys are going to do audio and voice, you're high on crack. So that's really important. The other thing in the salon is the guilds. So there are guilds in here. There's an ethics guild, there's an education guild, healthcare. There's also Pate runs the mechanics guild to talk about behind the scenes, like how does this stuff work? What's the math? All that sort of stuff. There's business, writers, art, and Peter Kaminsky does AI 101. So again, these are sub-communities. There's also clubs. So there's kind of private clubs that people are spinning up in here. He was amazed. I kid you not. He thought it was magic. Jay Sillo, this is Arthur, I think it's Arthur C. Clarke, from a book in 1962. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. As you use these tools, as we all use these tools, we normalize the Kevin Mcallister moments, right? That moment where it just melts your fucking face. You normalize that after you've used it for a month or 6 months or whatever the threshold is, where it still kind of blows your mind, but you're like, yeah, the world has this now where you can just solve problems without really thinking about it, without having to go do a Google search. And when people who don't know anything about ChatGPT experience that, it is functionally magic. You know how the trick is done, maybe, but it is functionally magic. Sora can combine videos, by the way. Interesting. Fantastic. I mean, it's going to be wild. Anyway, in the clubs, there's a club here called AILL Irregulars. That's the club for this channel. So every night, the irregulars come in here, and as I'm yapping and yapping and yapping, they're in making fun of me or making cool images, inspiring one another. So if you want to do that, if you want to chat with people who are in here regularly, they're really quite remarkable. Hop into the AI Irregulars Club. But I wanted to share something that I wanted to share an insight that I had today that I think is unique. Gemini is blowing my mind. It's spelling accuracy right now. Oh, great. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. Oh, yeah. Yeah, DALL-E can't ever do not perfect, but way better than the others with less generating. That looks beautiful, too. There's a cool thing that's happening in here, which I haven't seen in other communities. Might be there. One of the things that I see in other communities, in a channel like Show and Tell, the whole point of Show and Tell is to go in there and show your chops, right? And so you get this in the Midjourney server, and you get this on, Midjourney groups on Facebook and LinkedIn and in art groups and things like that. And what you tend to get is virtuosos showing off their masterpieces, right? And one of the things that's happening in Show and Tell here is that people are willing to share their failures. They're sharing things that are interesting. The other thing that's happening is there's like, oh, that's really cool. Let me take, your prompt and let me go modify that and do my spin on that. Oh, that's really cool. And then a third person will go do their spin on that. And so what I'm noticing is that you'll get these waves of different styles of content that are all inspired by one another. Like there's, I forget who it was. I think it might have been Joker or someone like a month or two ago started with these hyper close-ups of super detailed animals. And it's kind of continued and morphed, and now there's these sort of jeweled beings and crystal beings, and there's like this community of inspiration happening where you just kind of see waves of different styles of people. Like, look at that one. And this is from something like a month or two ago, combined with 3 or 4 other things a month or two ago that are kind of evolving. Like there's this evolution of competencies and artistic visions and voices that I think is unique to this group. I think it's really amazing. And that hit me today. It was just like, fuck, that's so cool. That it's just like, oh, that's cool, that's beautiful. And it's almost, you know what it is? It's almost like instead of it being like, oh, they took that from me, it's like people are like, oh, that's really cool that you took my thing and did something with it, right? And it's, one of the reasons that that one's beautiful. Who did that? Tim Sheffel. That's really cool. The old ghillie suit. We just added the, see this hyper realistic, but now super stylized, like crystal crazy ass shit. That's so cool. One of the reasons we put, God, that's gorgeous. Nice, Danielle. We put gratitude in here was let's go out of our way to acknowledge when someone else in the group inspires you. Acknowledge them for it and like point them to the work that you're doing that got inspired by it, because that will inspire them to do more and vice versa, right? So that's what this group is about. These things are so cool. And like these are all different people doing different things. And then some of these are also coming from like Leah and Jane just kicked off. Let me see where it is. If you go to the Art Guild, should be right in here. The third link down, did you sign up for Jane and Leah's prompt creativity yet? So they just kicked off a 6-week exercise where every morning you're going to get a prompt, like a video challenge for that day. And then you're going to do the challenge and you're going to share that in Show and Tell or in the Art Guild. I don't know where they're going to show. I forget. I think it's Show and Tell. But this is going on here all the time. Danielle in here does these weekly Mad Libs of like, here's a Mad Lib of, go create crazy images, filling in variables in this prompt that she put together. So it's just I don't know. It is a special group. I think it's special. I like it. So that's, anyway, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, that's the AI Salon. We pronounce it salon. It's not where you get your hair done. You could ask someone to do your nails, but they're probably going to use AI to do it, and it's probably going to fuck it up. So don't do that. But come in here and share your ideas and get all smarter. Get smarter every day. All right, fantastic. Bob, tell him what he's won. You've won nothing. You haven't entered. You've got to fill out the form. Please, Jesse. Follow the rules. Jesse, please. Yeah, sir. Mr. Shannon. Yes, go on. I was wondering. Sir. Good day. What, by chance, are your qualifications? Oh, my qualifications? Rather. Well, cheerio, pip on that. I have none. Carrying on. All right. Yes, it's amazing to be able to help others and be helped. Yeah. And again, my understanding of the purpose of the salon has shifted. In the past 2 months, there's something very different going on for me. And it really is this idea that, well, let me tell you why I started it. Why I started the salon was I knew that things were going to be moving so fast that no individual could keep up with shit. And so I thought the salon would be a place where a bunch of people who are all trying to keep up with shit can put what they learn into this same bucket. And we can all learn from it, and everyone will learn faster, and we'll all get better together. What I didn't quite anticipate as much is that this would become the kind of remarkable community it has. It's full of a lot of really remarkable women, like at a much higher ratio than I've seen in any other technology kind of community like this ever in my life. I find that absolutely remarkable and awesome. There's a level of, I don't know, just camaraderie and like true friendships being born that I was not expecting. Because I have in my head, because I'm a fucking Gen Xer, that in-person shit's the only way to build relationships. And I also have in my head that social media, that the one thing social media is not social. It's antisocial. It's isolating. And so to experience a community where these deep, trusted relationships are being formed, that's just been a surprise for me and a revelation for me. And then here's been the really big shift. As I watch these tools get staggeringly more powerful, like the shift from Runway ML to Sora is just fucking stupid. It's like, wait, what? And that's even just looking at it as video output. But I did a video tonight on this afternoon on how Sora actually works. They break a frame up into these things called patches, and then when they're figuring out what to render for each frame of a video, they're taking like 100 frames at a time, and they're taking individual little pieces of the video and they're looking at them like across 100 frames of video to make sure that there's coherence on the piece parts of the frame. That's why it doesn't have all the weirdness that the other ones do. So like I look at that and I just look at the sort of craziness of what these tools are doing. And I just go to this place of like, we're entering a world where everyone will have all the skills to some degree, right? Everyone will have all the knowledge to some degree. Now you need to be AI literate. You need to be able to use these tools. Right now, you need to, you need to piece part and duct tape together a bunch of stuff to get it to do stuff. But 2-3 years from now, all of these models are going to be multimodal, seamless, agent-driven. You just give it a goal, and it's going to spin up a bunch of bots for you, go out and do shit for you, and deliver it. So everyone's going to have all the skills. Everyone's going to have all the knowledge. So the first thing I do is I fucking panic, right? Because I go, oh shit, then everyone's going to get fired. No, work still needs to get done. And human beings still need to be the conductors of these symphonies. But why I hire someone shifts dramatically. I no longer hire you because you're the only one on the planet that can do that kind of animation. I no longer hire you because you're the only one on the planet that can write copy that's as convincing or as effective as the copy you write. Now everyone, or a lot of people, are going to be able to do that, right? So for me as someone hiring someone, the pool of people I could hire, goes from 10 or 20 to 10 or 20,000. And then I go to, so who am I fucking hiring? I'm going to hire the people I know. I'm going to hire the people that aren't assholes. I'm going to hire the people that are generous. I'm going to hire the people that are big thinkers. I'm going to hire the people that just, I like the way they work. I like the way they think. I like who they are. I'm going to hire the people I know and trust. And I think right now the world is like, it's skills first, and then if we can get to it, like and trust. And I think these are slowly starting to close. And as these tools get capable really quickly, it's going to be like this. Like right now, the world still kind of looks the same. 2023, the last normal year. As these tools get better and better and better, and the skills get more and more democratized, it's going to very quickly do that, where everyone's got the skills. And so I no longer hire for skills. I hire for trust and relationships. That's why a group like the AI Salon, I think, is important. Crazy, right? I don't know if it's true. That's what it's feeling like, though. D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D. I see something going on the mod side. Let me know if there's anything you need me to do. Those who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who can. Yep. Yep. Lee Clow, Steve Jobs. One of the best campaigns in the history of campaigns. That campaign was fucking brilliant. You know, it's so funny. It's like the virtuosos. What is the AI Learning Lab? The AI Learning Lab is just this channel. The AI Learning Lab is me. I'll make an occasional video on my channel. So this channel has kind of flipped. This channel used to be just, I would make videos and put them out there. And then last April, the end of last April, I thought, first thing I thought is, wonder what TikTok Live is like. That was a stupid fucking question. And what I was doing was, I love sim racing. So where you got a rig and a steering wheel, and you race other people on racetracks in virtual cars. I love it. And so I'd come home after work, and for two hours a night, I'd run in and, I'd eat dinner or whatever, and I'd run in and I'd sim race for a couple hours, and then I'd go back out and watch TV. And so I thought, what if I, for a year, just commit to, instead of sim racing, I go live and talk about AI. And so that's what the AI Learning Lab has really turned into. And the big surprise for me has been, this has turned into like a jam session, like a nightly jam session where I'll show stuff, people do stuff. They now that we have the AI Salon that they can go hang out and sort of collaborate and communicate there, there's all sorts of cool stuff. And so that's all it is. It's also, nickname for the channel is Chat ADD. I will occasionally finish a sentence. I will occasionally do something I said I was going to do. Can I use AI to make a LinkedIn profile pic? Yeah, you can. I mean, there's a bunch of services out there. There's one called, what the fuck's it called? Remini. REMINI, which is, it's like an iPhone app. You upload some pictures to it and it'll turn it into headshots for you. You can do that one. It depends how geeky you are and how deep you want to run down the rabbit hole. But there's some commercial apps out there that use AI to make LinkedIn profile pics. You can absolutely do that. I think my TikTok profile pic right now is a Remini AI picture. There's still a little uncanny valley where it's just like, it's not quite exactly what you look like. The humanity's not quite there. But, you don't have to put on a nice shirt and go to a fucking studio. These lives are great for group therapy. Yeah, exactly, lunatic. And I mean, that's the thing. Like these lives really do become, like, I get the privilege of sort of feeling the pulse of what's going on and what's exciting people and what's freaking people out and what people really want to know, and just watch the waves of, now we're making GPTs and now everyone's excited about Sora. Like, just we're very much in a primordial soup right now. There's no structure. It's all chaos, right? Which, there's an argument for having someone like me host a channel like this. Like, I think when the industry's a bit more established, you probably want someone who's good with agendas and process. But that's not where the industry is right now. The industry's total fucking chaos. You can try to wrangle it, make an automation, put it over here, try to lock shit down. And then 3 weeks later, you go try to use your tool and it doesn't work anymore because they've changed the underlying model, or they've fine-tuned it, or just they turned off the fucking API. It's just where it is right now. And so what I try to teach in here is embrace the janky, be relentlessly curious, and talk about it. And the third one is the most important. Fucking talk about it. If you're learning about AI, talk about it. What's that mean, Kyle? Oh my God, what do you mean talk about it? I am not an expert. I don't know if you know this, but I'm fairly computer literate, okay? I don't know if you know, I'm still working on Microsoft Word 5.1 on Windows 95. I'm a little scared to upgrade, if you know what I mean. Talk about it. Well, where do I talk about it? LinkedIn? Facebook? I don't want my Facebook friends to see that I'm into this AI stuff. Talk about it. Here's what I learned. Here's what's good. Here's what's bad. Here's what I'm afraid of. Here's what I'm excited about. The robots are not going to kill us. These things are too janky for them to kill us. Kyle, when do you think we can share confidential data with OpenAI without compromising it? Well, so if you use ChatGPT Team, the agreement there is that they do not train on that data. And if you use ChatGPT Enterprise, they do not train on that data. So if you spend $30 a month instead of $20 a month for GPT Team, and you need 2 seats, right? So you can't just do it for 1 seat. You need 2 seats. Then they will not train on your data. So that's there now. I would still be very reticent to share anything super critical with a third-party LLM right now, whether it's Google or OpenAI or Microsoft or anyone. If you want to be truly safe, you run your models locally or on your own instance of a GPU stack, like a virtual server. And if you're not geeky enough to do that, then don't do that. But I feel like there's this misconception out there that, you know, if I type in, I'm feeling a little depressed today, that, you know, it's immediately going to broadcast out to the world. Kyle Shannon's feeling depressed and asked OpenAI what they thought about that. Quite honestly, most of your data and most of your interactions, nobody gives a shit about. But if you're like working on your patent application for your patented thing, or you're working on a legal case and you want confidentiality, or you're doing medical records, and you know, if there are a lot of things that if it got out, it would be really bad. You should just assume that none of that stuff you should put in there unless it's been de-identified. There's a cool company in Denver, actually, which is where I am, called Liminal. And I was about to build this because we do a lot of work in pharma. So I was about to build this into our platform. And now I think I'm just going to do an API call to Liminal. So what Liminal does is they will take any document that you've got that is super identifiable, has got all your private shit in it, and they will de-identify it. They'll swap out, you know, first name for a variable called first name, and, you know, address for address 1 here. And then they send the de-identified stuff to OpenAI or to whoever. It returns the thing, and then Liminal re-identifies the answer, right? So it maintains the variables in thing. Now, you got to trust them, right? You're still sending shit to a third party. But what you can likely do with a company like Liminal is they probably have what are called BAAs, which are business something agreements. If you're sending private information and you have a BAA, they basically say, here's our policy for privacy and security and safety and how we store things and when we throw it out and all that. And so you have an agreement with them. And so if you have those BAAs in place, as a company working on behalf of other companies, you can do business, basically. Liminal. Yeah, Liminal is the name of the company. Hang on, I'll get you the URL here in a second. the de-identification company. It's a really slick idea, and it was like I was about to build one, and then I think it was on here. Someone told me about it, and so I actually reached out to the CEO because he's a Denver guy. I'm like, let's go have lunch. Let's talk about this AI stuff. We'll be like AI CEO bros. Oh my God. Let's see. Liminal de-identification. Liminal dot. Is this it? Company. About us. Where are they? No, this is New York. That's not it. Let's see. Liminal de-identification Denver. Securing enterprises. Liminal.ai. Horizontal security for all generative AI. So what they do is they've got all these different models. So you can send a prompt to OpenAI, you can send a prompt to Claude, you can send a prompt to liminal.ai. That's it. And then basically once you set up your thing, you just type in a prompt like you normally would in ChatGPT, and in the back end, their service will scan your prompt for anything that could be essentially compromising or, and I assume that you can set up preferences for this. And I don't know what the setup is. I don't know. The other thing is, I don't know if this is any good, but how they've described it is exactly what I was thinking about building. And we talked to our lawyer about it, and he said this is a really good approach. Like, if you can de-identify the shit before you send it, you can send shit anywhere. Right? Isn't that slick? So look, I'm not just hawking for Sam Altman. I just want him to love me, and he doesn't. It makes me sad. Thank you. Don't reward my idiocy, or I'll become more idiotic. Oh man. Thank you, Empower. Thank you very much. Thank you. Crypto Joe, thank you for your little heart. Title gifter. I don't know what that means, but it's good. I appreciate it. I appreciate your generosity. I really do. Thanks so much. Thank you, Dr. Bot. Have a good day. I know it's Monday. You're probably off to work or off to breakfast or something. Ooh, time to explore. All right. Sam follows you on TikTok. It's a different Sam. Sam Altman doesn't follow me on TikTok. Some Sam Altman wannabe follows me on TikTok. Oh, Sam, when are we gonna have lunch? I want to talk about this. What do you call it? This Chat GTP thing you've created. I want to talk about that, and there's some issues with it. Okay, there's some inconsistencies. The images don't spell correctly. Okay, it's like I love that it makes pretty letters and pretty designs, and it's very magical. But if I can't get it to spell, I just need you to explain to me why can't it spell. Does it need to go back to class? Because we can get it at school. I don't know how these robots learn, but I assume there's some university somewhere teaching them. They're not doing a very good job at the basics, okay? You understand what I'm saying? Da 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 da. Make money with AI. Ha 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 ha.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
He only loves himself and his sister. Oh, Joker. That's a deep cut. That's a deep Sam Altman cut right there. That was one of the rumors for his firing. Oh, good Lord. Oh man. What do you want to know? What do you want to do? What time is it? It's 9:30. I got like a half hour. I can do a little half hour. Little half hour of something. Can you make money with ChatGPT though? You can. Actually, you know what? I haven't done this little rant in a while. This thing,
You can make money with ChatGPT.
why I made this here gold button was because I was saying this all the time. I went through a phase where I was relentlessly making fun of the people on TikTok. 11 Labs sound? No, that's actually me. I was relentlessly making fun of the people on TikTok that were like, you can make money with ChatGPT. The ones with all the graphics, and they're like, and here's the deal. If you want to make money with... I'm late tonight. Don't know if I missed any discussion on this. Elon and OpenAI. No. Let me go look and see if there's a story there. Elon, OpenAI. Lawsuit. Partnership. X.com. It's not big enough to make trending. Elon, OpenAI. Breaking. Oh. Tesla video generation. Oh, that's interesting. I was I was gonna make fun of him. So here's the deal. Anytime OpenAI does something, there's like a rash of announcements that are like, but we'll do better than them. We're better than them. But what Elon Musk said is where Tesla video generation exceeds OpenAI is that it predicts extremely accurate physics. This is essential for self-driving. That actually makes sense to me. And because they're using cameras and not physics models and programming, they're using cameras and video analysis, right? So that actually makes sense to me. Now, whether or not they've got something that can spit it back out, and when they have that, and is it something they can demo? Who knows? Who fucking knows? What was I talking about before? Anyone want to remind me where I was? Anyone without ADD? I put the screenshots in the water cooler section. Okay, cool. Elon boring, got tunnels, walls. Oh, making money with ChatGPT. Thank you. And Power Pixels. Okay.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
All right. So here's the deal. The question comes up a lot. How do I make money with Chat Squirrel? Yes. Welcome to Chat ADD down in the mud. That's what this mod channel reminder. Okay. Oh, 11 Labs. Yes, I'll talk about 11 Labs. Yes. Good. Thank you for reminding me about that. Okay, but let me talk about making money first. I'm gonna don't pin any comments right now, and I'm not gonna look at your comments. I'm gonna scroll up so they're not moving. so I don't get distracted. So don't pin anything. Just let me get through the gold button rant. If you want to make money with ChatGPT, the wrong question to ask is how do you make money with ChatGPT? It's also the wrong question to ask how do you make money with AI? You're like, but Kyle, like that's what we all want to know. So, well, how do you make money with ChatGPT? I know. And I'm with you. Like I'm trying to figure out how to make money with AI and ChatGPT in my business right now. But that's not the right question to ask. And here's why. ChatGPT is just a fucking tool. Like Photoshop is a tool. And Microsoft Word is a tool. And so asking, how do you make money with ChatGPT is essentially the same thing as, how do you make money with Photoshop? I don't know. You get some fucking design skills, you learn how to use Photoshop, and you tell people you'll make their pictures better. That's how you make money with Photoshop. It's not Photoshop. It's your talent and skills and application to solve someone's problem. The problem with ChatGPT is because it's this magical general purpose, it can do anything thing. I think people have the fantasy that you can make money with ChatGPT. And you can't. These people, fucking assholes,
You can make money with ChatGPT.
you know how they're making money?
You can make money with ChatGPT.
By selling you courses on how to make money with ChatGPT. And you know what they're going to tell you in the fucking course? What I'm telling you right now. Figure out a problem in the world that you're passionate enough about to want to solve it. Figure out how to use ChatGPT or AI or Photoshop or Microsoft Word or a shovel. Figure out some tool that can solve that problem better, faster, or cheaper than anyone else in the marketplace, and then tell people about it. And if you've done your job right, they will pay you money to solve their problem. The tool is irrelevant. And I know that that's not the answer most people want to hear. They want to hear the fucking fantasy. It's a fantasy that you can just push a button and we'll all get rich. And even when you hear people like, well, I use ChatGPT to make 100,000 t-shirt designs and I put them up on and then I made $10,000 in an hour. Anything that's actually that easy, it might work once for a day or two, and then everyone will copy it, the market gets saturated, and the bottom falls out of it. There's no magic formula. Zero magic formula. Here's the good news. Generative AI stuff is so powerful that as a single operator or as a 2 or 3 person team, you can solve problems that would have historically taken 5 or 10 or 20 people to solve. So your ability to do things better, faster, or cheaper than the competition right now, if you're AI literate, are like way up here. Because the 95% of the world is not AI literate right now. They're not playing with these tools. They're not reinventing their businesses. They're not thinking about this stuff critically. So even if you're just curious about it and you're like, well, I guess I could write a marketing plan with ChatGPT. Yeah, let me try it here. You're way ahead of most of the world. So go find something you're passionate about, figure out a problem that needs solving, and then figure out how to use AI to solve it, and then go put that out in the world. That's how you do it. That's it. End of rant. And scene. Scene. And scene. And scene. Mm-hmm. Okay. 11 left. So let's go look at something. If you didn't see it yesterday or the day before, it doesn't fucking matter. Sometime in the past 48 hours, there's this little startup, this pesky little startup called OpenAI. They have like 800 employees, and apparently they're just fucking taking over the world. Everyone's pissed off at them. Well, they announced this thing called Sora, which makes pretty pictures move. You know what's funny is it's funny. It just hit me that because what I'm about to show you is Sora makes these beautiful videos, but they have no sound. And like what hit me was, I feel like Runway ML and Pika Labs were like silent movies. Like silent movies were really janky, and like the movement was really janky, and they were silent. And then at some point, someone figured out how to put audio with them, and then at some point they added color to them. Right? There were these distinct phases, and so Sora represents a new phase. So it's kind of like the shift from silent movies to talkies, except Sora still doesn't talk. But they released this thing. Or no, they didn't release it. They announced this thing. It's not released. And it looks like... I'll go through it a little bit here in case people haven't seen it. If you've been anywhere, if you're paying attention at all to this AI stuff, it's all anyone's talking about. So you go to openai.com/Sora, and you can create video from text, which is pretty slick. Hang on, let me make this a little smaller, and let me get my... And I'll do that, and I'll do that. Okay. And so... Come on. This site's really weird. This site, like, loads and unloads all the time. It's very weird. Okay. So here's this video. So this is the one that has been shown a lot. This woman walking down a street in Tokyo. This is a 59-second video of a woman walking down a street in Tokyo. And you'll notice in the background, like the thing that... So two things impressed me about this video of her. Her legs actually look like legs. If you look at Runway, when people walk in Runway, you kind of just have to forgive that their legs sort of just defy physics, and then they'll sprout a third leg. And, just like we used to have eight-fingered hands, one of the things you accept with AI video is that legs don't work right. Well, these legs work right. And then the other thing about the background people, one of the things that Runway videos are notorious for is like all of the individuals in the background will sort of morph together and then split apart and then turn into a car and then an elephant. And, so long as you just ignore this shit in the background, everything's fine. Well, this isn't that. Like the only thing that I've really found that's a tell here is the thickness of the soles of her shoes kind of does this. Right? So there's a couple of places that you can look here where there's just weirdness, right? But it's like really nitpicky little shit. And then they put out a bunch of these videos, right? This one, the other thing that this does, so notice that edit that just happened, and that edit, 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 and whatever the fuck that thing is, and that edit. All of these edits are from a single prompt. This thing understands the whole world, and it understands he is in the world. And you're like, well, it can't do that. and then this one, this is a drone shot of Big Sur that I was talking to someone on Friday that they said when they saw this shot, they were like, oh, fuck. Because, I don't know. I mean, you tell me what about this doesn't look real. The waves look real. The little lighthouse is not moving, not changing. It's totally coherent. All the rocks are coherent. The waves are coherent. Like, it's solid. So this is Sora. And they go on, there's a bunch of other things. One of the things that I was impressed with this is that this section, that OpenAI was actually willing to admit, This thing ain't perfect. And they gave examples of it, which I thought was actually smart. So they said the current model has weaknesses. It may struggle with the accuracy of simulating the physics of a complex scene. This is the accuracy of simulating the physics of a complex scene. That's probably where Elon Musk is going to shit all over them. But until he launches a tool that proves itself, as good or better than this, Sora can also combine videos. I can't paste Reddit to Mighty Networks. Just Joker, you can do screenshots. All the shit where Mighty Networks has got some weird web rendering thing where it doesn't render previews of Twitter things. It doesn't it sucks for that. So just take a screenshot. Insane. The video is the hardest. Yeah, well, so I'm going to show you now. I'll show you now how it works. But anyway, the section here, they say it may not understand physics of a complex scene. It may not understand specific instances of cause and effect. For example, a person might take a bite out of a cookie, but afterward the cookie might not have the bite mark. The model also confuses spatial details of a prompt, for example, mixing up left and right, and may struggle with precise descriptions. And then it shows you some examples of shit gone wrong, right? So there's a guy running backwards on a treadmill that seems to be motoring itself down some sort of mythical street. It said weakness. Sora sometimes creates physical implausible motion, which is good. Here's one where the pups are spontaneously emerging out of one another. This one, the ball goes in the hoop. Shrunk. And there's another ball. It just shows up and then goes through the rim, right? So there's some physics disaster going on there. This one's a blast. Watch the chair. Watch the chair emerge out of the sand. Zip. And now watch. And it's the Ouija chair. All right. And then she can't blow out the candles. But I've seen many grandmothers not be able to blow out the candles. So I think that one's actually not, that one's plausible. Okay, so let me show you how this works. And I did a video on this today. So if you wanna see the video and understand it, you can do that. In the description at the bottom of the release here, they talk about their research techniques, and they have a link to their technical report. And so let me show you how this thing actually works. I think this is fucking bonkers. Bonkers. Okay. All right. So this is how video works, right? If you've ever, taken any time to figure out how do those moving pictures work? Well, we have this thing called persistence of vision, and sort of the lowest number where it doesn't seem really flickery and weird is about 24 frames a second, which is what feature films do, and TV's like 30 frames a second, and video games are like 60 frames a second. But basically, for every second of video, you've got this stack of 24 or 30 or 60 pictures, right? And if you understand how diffusion models work, you write a prompt and it sort of amalgamates all these random noised images into a single random noised image, and then it denoises them over like 50 steps to generate that image. And so you can imagine that if you're sort of taking this, kind of random concocted image and you're denoising it, and then you're trying to maintain persistence across a series of those, some of the shit's going to get lost and weird and morphy. Like just the nature of how diffusion models work, that's just sort of what happens. And it makes perfect sense. It's actually staggering that video, like Runway ML and Pika, is as good as it is, considering how diffusion models work. Okay. So what OpenAI's doing is they're taking their training set, they take lots and lots of video, and then they actually put it in a visual encoder that understands all of the things that are in the image. And so it understands, in this case, there's a butterfly, It looks like it's swimming, on top of a coral reef or whatever the fuck that is. But, it sort of breaks that down and figures all that stuff out. That visual encoder then turns the little individual components into what they call patches. Or these are very similar to tokens in a large language model, but they break the image up into these patches. And then the way the system actually processes a single frame is that they load in like 100 frames. And they take one of these patches, and how I describe it in my video is, let's say in this larger video, one of these patches is a little red sports car, right, on a road. Well, so that would be at the beginning of this patch. They can look forward and back in time and maintain the continuity of this little patch. So rather than having to maintain the continuity of the whole, they're maintaining the continuity of very little pieces, like 100 frames at a time, right? Looking forward and back. It's remarkable, right? It's remarkable. And so what it actually does is it's got things in there that understands physics. It understands how a room works and how gravity works and how a river works and how trees work. It's not creating a simulated model, but it understands all that shit, and that it understands what all the individual piece parts are of an image and how they should interact with one another. And it maintains that continuity by looking at a single patch over time. Holy fucking shit, Batman! That's why the video's so good, is because it's effectively simulating reality. Good Lord, who are these mathematicians? So, that's Sora. And the other thing that gets my panties in a twist. Where is my tab? Where am I? Oh, I guess I can just hit the back button. Yeah. The thing that gets my panties in a twist here, they released this thing called Sora, but the first sentence doesn't talk about video. The first sentence says, "We're teaching AI to understand and simulate the physical world in motion with the goal of training models to help people solve problems that require real-world interaction." Read that slowly. There's not a word in there about video. We're teaching AI to understand and simulate the physical world in motion with the goal of training models that help people solve problems that require real-world interaction. Think gaming, think 3D modeling, think robotics, think augmented reality. I mean, video is just the simplest form of outputting objects in space over time, right? It's the flat version. Like, video is the 2D version of representing the world. It's mathematical. It is totally mathematical. And they don't start out talking about how awesome video is. They start out talking about, that's a big fucking heady thing. And then they say, oh, by the way, first thing we're putting out there is this video tool. Hope you enjoy. People are losing their minds over the video. By the way, first thing we're putting out there is this video tool. Hope you enjoy. People are losing their minds over the video. His AI company that he started. He ordered the GPUs for X.AI the week after he said all the other AI companies should take a 6-month pause. You know that one? What he said the goal of X.AI is to understand the universe. Which, when I heard it, I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, is he just doing mushrooms every day now? And now I look at this and I'm like, oh, I get it. If the AI understands the world, then it can take any kind of input, any kind of data, and it can understand what's supposed to happen with that or how to put it in context. What's that song? Oh, it was written by these people and this thing, and that band played in Wembley Stadium in 1974, and Wembley Stadium looks like this, and it had this many people in it, and this many people in a stadium this big would sound like this. Like, that's where it's headed. Holy fucking shit. Then, today, this is bonkers. Then today, 11 Labs did this. 11 Labs said, we were blown away by the Sora announcement, but felt it was missing something. And this was my TikTok video was, it's quiet, too quiet. What if you could describe a sound and generate it with AI? AI sound effects are coming to 11 Labs. Sign up for early access. So if you go to LinkedIn and go to my account, at Kyle Shannon on LinkedIn, or just the 11 Labs account on LinkedIn, this will be one of their latest posts. But listen to it. Look how different these scenes feel when they have audio in them. All right. Love that one.
In a place beyond imagination, where the horizon kisses the heavens, one man dares to journey where few have ventured. Armed with nothing but his wit and an unyielding spirit, he seeks the answers to mysteries that lie beyond the stars.
Without modification. Including these typing sounds. Damn. Right? Damn. Damn. And then, as remarkable as Sora is, the fact that 11 Labs is a tool over here and OpenAI Sora is a tool over here doesn't make any sense, right? You got an AI that already does it. You don't think that OpenAI has a model that makes sound effects and audio? You don't think that OpenAI has some 11 Labs crushing technology? You don't think that OpenAI is working on if they're working on understanding and simulating the physical world, you don't think they've got a text to 3D model thing in there? And frankly, all of the big players, right? I would put Google in this category, I'd put Meta in this category, I'd put Apple in this category, right? All the big players, OpenAI, some of the other well-funded large language model companies are probably working on multimodal stuff right now. So we very quickly move from the pictures are pretty and can't spell right to, ooh, the pictures can spell right to, oh, we have video. Oh, we have video with sound effects. Ooh, we have video with sound effects, background music. Ooh, we have video with sound effects, background music, and acting and script writing delivered in minutes or seconds. And it'll be 30-second commercials to start, and then it'll be 60-second commercials, and then it'll be 5-minute shorts, and you can stitch those together to make a feature film. I'll be able to take my screenplays. I've got 7 of them sitting there collecting dust. I mean, I could do it right now, but I'm just kind of waiting on the technology to get a little bit better because it'll be easier. And I can just take my screenplay and go, make it. And fucking watch my movie. We're within spitting distance of that. And you know, I get the existential threat. I get as these tools get more real. You know, Source Camp said the other day on my office hours. I do this weekly office hours on LinkedIn, and she said she was really unsettled. And I said, well, what is it? What is unsettling? And she said it hit her that she's not going to be able to discern that from reality. I was like, fuck, yeah, that's big. But I also look at the other side of this, because there's definitely a downside of that, and they're red teaming it right now, and everyone's gonna have to deal with this. But like, the shit's coming. It doesn't matter how we feel about it. It's coming. So where I go is, how many people out there have a story they want to tell and don't have the capacity to tell it? They might not have the talent or skill. They might have a brain injury. They might have a disability. Might be in a different language. They might want to tell this story on a grand scale and they can't raise the $300 million to make a film. Shucks. What happens when all of those stories get to be told? And it's not just storytelling, right? Think of all the educational videos. Think of all the business ideas that can now be well articulated and get people excited enough to go, oh, I see your vision. We're exiting the world where an entrepreneur has to be the hand-wavy guy. That's my nickname within Storyvine. I'm the hand-wavy guy, and my partner Monique, she's the one that keeps the trains running on time. My ability to hand wave my way into getting people excited about ideas for something that doesn't exist, that's something I'm good at. Source Camp, everyone has a story to tell. Exactly, that's why I started Storyvine. It's the whole premise of Storyvine. Everyone's got a story to tell, and storytelling's really fucking hard. It's not anymore. That changed. This past year, that changed. It's not hard to tell a story anymore. It's not hard to structure a story. It's not hard to write a story. And it's not going to be hard to produce a story. Starting in 2024 and just getting better and better and better and better, entrepreneurs will be able to speak their idea into existence in a day or two, or an hour or two, or a minute or two. And rather than them having to hand wave and go, well, it's going to be like this thing that's going to be kind of like Uber, but for people that do vacuuming, but not vacuuming of houses, just vacuuming of sidewalks. Like, you're like, what? Now they'll just be able to go, hey, I see your sidewalk's a little dirty. Click here. What's that? You click it, and like some dude with a sidewalk vacuumer shows up. You're like, whoa, that's cool. What happens in a world where ideas can just manifest? It gets really weird really fast. Because your plumber that's always fancied himself a poet is going to write some fucking hit song that Taylor Swift sings or something. There's going to just be weirdness. Joker will finally tell a funny joke. We have the technology where Joker could actually make people laugh. Right? I know, implausible, but it's coming. Wait, Joker, what was that? What was pinned for Joker that I just trashed? I didn't actually read what the pin was. According to quantum physics, reality doesn't exist until it's observed anyway. Difference? Yeah. Yeah, we used to have this joke. So when I was in the mid 90s when I was doing agency.com, and it was a similar sort of inventive time where it was just this primordial soup of everyone was trying to figure this web shit out, and what's HTML and how do you do it and how do you make things animate, and just, we had this kind of running, it wasn't even really a joke. It was like if someone would have an idea, we would basically say, don't say it out loud unless you're going to build it, because if you say it out loud, we'll see it in 2 months or a month or a week later. And it just happened again and again and again and again, because you're in such an inventive time that, the collective, Uber mind is all just buzzing trying to figure shit out. And if you go, oh, what'd be cool is if we put this together with that, and then it would do that. And if you don't go build it right then, it would just pop up in like 6 different places. Because everyone was having it at the same time. But back then, in the mid 90s, you actually had to have some chops, or you had to have enough people around you that had different skills that you can all build shit to get it built, to get it in the world. We're leaving that world. I think we've left that world, but just most people don't know it yet. We're leaving the world of, I have an idea. I wonder what it would look like if I ever got funding to be able to have the hand to hire the people to hand the hand. And we're entering the world of like, I have an idea. Oh, there it is. And what's been my experience over the past year is you have this shitty idea. You're like, I have an idea. There it is. Oh. And then it goes one of 2 ways. Well, that was the dumbest idea I ever had. Throw it out. Or, that's kind of interesting. I wonder if it could do this. There it is. Oh, that's pretty good. Let me just keep running down that rabbit hole. The other thing that disappears in this world is the self-limiting beliefs. You know those annoying self-help gurus that are like, if you believe hard and if you say it, you can manifest it. In fact, I've got right here my little cards. I manifest. Abracadabra. As I speak, I create. Your word manifests things. The Secret, right? All that shit. When you're in a place... Oh, thank you very much, Winston. I love that one. Thank you very much. Very generous. When you're in a place where you know the limitations, you kind of know the world, you've been beat down enough, it's really hard to accept that that's actually true. I think it is true, but it's also true that sometimes things take a lot longer than you want them to. And sometimes they never fucking happen. And sometimes you really do just have limits, right? Could I get really good at drawing? I could get as good as I could get at drawing. I could put in a lot of time and get a lot better at drawing. But then when I hang out with PJ Lochran and look at like the fucking, the ink splatters on his page are more artistic than anything I draw ever will be. You're like, oh yeah, I'm just in a different league, right? All that kind of goes away. And I think I think that's something people are going to have to confront. There's a certain comfort and safety in, well, the reason I'm not successful is because I wasn't good at drawing, or I wasn't good at writing, or I wasn't good at this, or I wasn't good at that. I don't think anyone is going to have those excuses anymore. So what happens in that world? Maybe you get confronted with, it ain't the talent, it's the drive. Or it's your persistence or your willingness to, you're just more committed to bitching about life than doing something about it. Like maybe you get confronted with some of that stuff. But the thing that really excites me is, and I witness it in the salon community and in this community every fucking day, is that people that had those limiting beliefs are starting to do shit and they're like, holy shit, I'm better than I thought I was. I don't want to admit it. I certainly can't tell anyone that I think I'm this good. So I'm seeing a lot of apologizing. Well, this only took me a few minutes. I'm not really good. We're having Kelly Bosch on, who makes TikTok videos. She's speaking at the salon in 2 weeks. And when I reached out to her, her response was, it was the equivalent of, this old house dress? Oh no, I'm not really talented. I'm like, sorry. Hate to break it to you, but you are. And then when I mentioned to people that, she was coming on, they're like, holy shit, she's amazing. I think we're going to have to confront our brilliance as humans. And I think there's an off chance that this AI shit makes things better, not worse. I think it's as plausible. I am now an actual jack of all trades, master of all. That's exactly it. Where is the bottom? That's it. Jack of all trades, master of none. That was 2023. Starting in 2024, 2023, the last normal year. 2024, every man can be a Renaissance man, every woman can be a Renaissance woman. Just will it into existence. Abracadabra. As I speak, I create. Self-limiting beliefs will be the new barrier to success. Well, self-limiting beliefs have always been the barrier to success. But the distance between you wanting to be a good artist and you being an artist used to be a decade or more, right? Depending on your talent and drive. That's no longer true, right? So I think the actual barriers between certain limits are just collapsing. Boom, 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 boom. Anyway, I gotta get going. Caverno, I love Kyle's Sunday AI sermons. You helped inspire this actually tonight. I get the fear. I get the fear of, fuck, these tools are too good. But then I just go to, what if you could be good at shit without really trying? and just want shit to happen, and then it does. Because of technology, I learned to illustrate my storybook in 4 months. Awesome. Beautiful, Tamzy. Winston, I'm 59, 60 in August, and it seems I am learning more quickly using AI tools than I ever have before. Yep, same. My brain, my brain is more creatively alive and more productive than I've ever been in my life. And I think, like a lot of us, I feel like, there's so much more I could be doing. But then I'm also realizing we've got time. We've got time. We're very early. And so it's just being in the game. 10-minute goodbye. Yeah, 10-minute goodbye. I can't stop the ideas from coming. I'm right there with you, Lunastick. Daisy Thomas, she's made 105 or 10 GPTs. She's slaying it. Yeah, it's weird. The other thing that's weird is like I notice in this community there's these really wild peaks and valleys of like a new technology will come out, and there's sort of the buildup of the technology, right, where we get all excited about it, and then it shows up and it either meets expectations or not. And if it doesn't meet expectations, there's like this group depression that happens. Like, I feel like the GPT store is one of those, right? We were all excited about GPTs. Like, the store is gonna be the thing. It's gonna put us on the map. And then it came out and was a piece of shit. We're like, nah. And then Sora comes out and everyone's excited about video, and then it's going to come out and it's going to be as good or not, and right, and if it's as good, then it'll be like ChatGPT, and there's a whole new wave of energy and excitement, and if not, it'll go down. And there's just, again, it's like the visual I keep having is we're just in this primordial, oscillating, there's no form to it, there's no real function to it environment right now. And the skill is just being in it. That's it. That's what this channel's about. All right. My challenge is so many exciting rabbit holes. I know. Night Kyle, Night Champion, Night Irregulars. Thank you, Robert Rossi. Thank you so much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. You're always very, very generous here, so I appreciate that a lot. Maybe the GPT 2.0 store will be better. I'll tell you what. The current thing is not the GPT store. Let's be clear about that. It's not even a GPT directory. It's like a GPT bucket. That's it. Okay, there's some images. If you want to throw some images in the Irregulars channel, the GPT store is the GPT bucket. You just dump GPTs in it, and then you can kind of reach in there and grab one occasionally. We need GPT store 1.0. It would be nice to have 2.0, but this is not a store. This is a piece of shit. GPT bucket. Awesome as always. Thank you, Joy Purdy. All right, let me get on out of here. If you want to support the channel, you can subscribe to the lives. That's appreciated. You can buy one of the video series in the corner there, the underhyped video series. Follow my channel. Thank you, Vegas Moxie. And join the AI Salon. If you want to be in a community with people that are up to some shit and are remarkably generous and supportive, like remarkably, like not normal, that's this group. So go there and then click on the first link that says AI Salon Community and go read about the salon and our values. And if those resonate with you, introduce yourself. Don't just like lurk on in there. Introduce yourself. All right? All right, Tobias, good to see you. Mr. IT, thank you as always. Lunastick, great to see you. Julia J, thank you. Source Camp. Andrea, good night. Good night, good night. Thanks for being a subscriber. You too, Megan. Tobias, as always, great to see you. Cavruno, Silver Fox, Megan, Corey Sandler Pottery. Vegas Moxie, thank you. A human being. Cindy Adobe Guy. Cindy Adobe Guy. Cindy Adobe Guy. Confusing, but it's at least easy enough to read. Winston, Papa JJ, good to see you. Clint Copperhead, Kim Cat King from Cleveland, Joy Purdy, Lightform, Tams, or Tamz, Robert Rossi. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. Sunday night, tomorrow, TGIM. We'll be back here around 8 o'clock. I don't think I have anything tomorrow night, so 8 o'clock. Tuesday night, we've got a Denver salon meetup in person. So I might be a little late then, but I might not. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyway, it was great to see y'all. Peace out. Hope this was fun. Good night.